Have you ever wondered why so many characters in the wizarding world of Harry Potter have red hair? Is it magic or is it genetics? Well, let's dive in and see.
I recently came across this Weasley family tree, hand-drawn by J.K. Rowling herself on BuzzFeed, prompting the question of how red hair is passed down in the wizarding world. After doing some digging and rewatching of some of the final scenes, I discovered that not every Weasley descendant is a redhead, and based on this and the family tree that J.K. Rowling gave to BuzzFeed, I was able to draw out this pedigree mapping the red hair trait.
We know from the final scenes of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 that out of Harry and Ginny's 3 children, only Lily has red hair. From the beginning scenes of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, we do know that Harry's mother has red hair, which will be important later on. And we know from the last film that both Rose and Hugo have red hair. From Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1, we know that Hermione's dad has red hair. We do not know, however, if the rest of the third generation has this trait or not.
Now, since we do want to know how the red hair trait is passed down, let's evaluate the pedigree to see which mode of inheritance is present.
We will take a look to see if the inheritance pattern is consistent with an X-linked dominant inheritance mode. I've already gone ahead and labeled as many genotypes as I could, but I couldn't complete this pedigree as this is not a plausible mode of inheritance. Looking at Hermione and her parents, she would have had to have received the X-dominant allele from her father and the X-recessive allele from her mother, making her a heterozygous dominant for red hair. However, as we all know, she is not ginger, but instead has bushy brown hair, therefore rendering X-linked dominant inheritance impossible to be the consistent pattern.
It's easily observed that the red hair trait is also not passed down through an X-linked recessive inheritance pattern. If it were, Harry himself would have had to have been ginger because he would receive an X-recessive allele from his mother and the Y from his father, which phenotypically code for him being a ginger, but he's not a ginger, therefore rendering this mode of inheritance impossible. It is clear the trait is not Y-linked, because if it were, then no females would be ginger, but as we see here, Lily Potter, Molly Weasley, Ginny, Rose, and Lily Luna are all ginger. I don't think I need to say much else, as we see that the red hair phenotypic trait is spread across both males and females, thus making it impossible to be a Y-linked trait.
Is red hair an autosomal dominant trait? Normally we would assume that anybody entering the pedigree would be homozygous dominant if they had the trait, but based on this pedigree we can infer that Lily Potter and Mr. Granger are both heterozygous dominant, and to make this mode of inheritance plausible, then Arthur and Molly would also be heterozygous dominant. However, for hardcore fans like me, we know that pretty much every Weasley has red hair, which would make the likelihood of Arthur and Molly being heterozygous dominant pretty unlikely,
lowering the probability that this is actually the mode of inheritance, but as demonstrated, it is a possible mode of inheritance. Finally, we get to the most likely mode of inheritance, the autosomal recessive inheritance pattern. Drawing out the pedigree and labeling each person's genotype, we can see that this mode of inheritance most likely aligns with the pedigree. There's no question of probability anywhere when drawing out this pedigree, and we can actually even infer the phenotypes of some of the unknown third generation based on this mode of inheritance.